It was late at night when Sophie returned home after a long day at work. The fog that enveloped the street made her feel like she was lost in another world. She walked through the door of her apartment, turned on the lights, and headed to the kitchen for a cup of tea, hoping it would help her relax. Sophie had moved into this apartment not long ago, drawn by its affordable price and ideal location in the city centre. However, from the very first day, something had seemed strange. There was an old mirror in the hallway, right before the bedroom, an antique mirror with a frame adorned with intricate carvings, but it seemed almost alive. Every time she passed by it, she had the feeling that it was watching her. That night, after her cup of tea, she decided to clean the apartment. As she crossed the hallway, she stopped in front of the mirror. A light breeze was blowing, despite the windows being closed. She looked at herself in the mirror, observing her tired eyes and exhausted face, but something wasn't right. She blinked, and for a split second her reflection seemed different. The smile that appeared on her own face was distorted, wider, darker. She took a step back, her heart pounding, but her reflection didn't move. It seemed frozen, as if it was waiting for her. Panicking, she turned to leave, but a movement in the mirror caught her attention. A blurry, almost invisible silhouette began to form behind her. She turned around immediately, but the apartment was empty. She moved closer to the mirror, her hands trembling, buried deep in her coat pockets. That's when she heard a whisper, faint and muffled, coming from the glass. She widened her eyes, leaning in closer. The words were hard to understand, but she managed to make out, "You're next." Her breath caught in her throat. She straightened up quickly, her hands covering her face, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew something was terribly wrong. As she turned to flee, a scream of terror escaped her throat. The mirror all of a sudden seemed to come to life. The surface distorted and warped, and a pale, horrified face appeared, wide-eyed and staring directly at Sophie. It wasn't her reflection, but someone else's, a person who seemed lost, disfigured, and dead. Before she could take a step, the face in the mirror broke into a macabre smile. The shadow behind her grew larger, and skeletal fingers emerged from the surface of the mirror, reaching out to grab her. Sophie tried to run, but an invisible force held her in place, as if the mirror was pulling her in. She screamed, desperately trying to break free, but the mirror's surface suddenly shattered, releasing a dark, cold wave. An icy hand clasped around her wrist, and she vanished into the reflection. The next morning the apartment was empty, except for the mirror, which was still perfectly clean. But when the